think I'm going out of my head. I don't know what to think anymore, what to believe. I know they're watching me. I don't know who they are, but they know everything about me. And they're always watching. Oh, it's just you guys. Hey. Well, geez, don't scare me like that. Moromi the Therapy Dog is a sensation in Japan, and he's made his creator, Tsukiko Sagi, a star. Plushies, posters, potholders, all manner of paraphernalia spreads Moromi's cheer nationwide, and now Tsukiko is being pressured to come up with a new mascot character to build on his success. But for whatever reason, the introverted designer can't bring herself to design a new character. At her wit's end, she walks home one night through an unsavory neighborhood and falls prey to... well, she can't remember what, exactly, and detectives Maniwa and Ikari can't drag anything out of her, eventually deciding that she may be a little loopy. But after another assault occurs on a seedy reporter who was tailing her, the details come together. The assailant is...
Hello again.
Against all logic, a small child on rollerblades with a crooked baseball bat that the rumor mill turns to calling Little Slugger. The detectives investigate furiously but can't find a trace of this phantom, a setback that flusters the older Ikari but fascinates his younger partner, Maniwa. Attack after attack piles up, and the targets are always the mentally distraught, who seem to get attacked right before a mental breakdown.
Huh?
It's impossible, unless maybe Little Slugger is an agent of the paranormal and not human at all. The search widens, the victim count skyrockets, and the detectives are determined to prove the Little Slugger is a simple agent of paranoia, not some ghostly force. But when the only witnesses are the clinically deranged, will the detectives themselves go insane in the pursuit? Could such a phenomenon really have started with a quiet girl and a little stuffed toy? On the technical side of things, director Satoshi Kon's name carries a lot of weight in the anime industry, so his work is going to get the best animators and the best funding over at Madhouse, a studio that already has an impressive resume. I've discussed several previous releases that use snappy timing and great editing tricks to get around so-so animation production, but with Paranoia Agent, you get to see those artistic sensibilities applied to some already high-profile work.
Help me! Huh? Ah! What the hell?
Add to that Kon's insistence on Japanese-looking characters and common urban settings instead of the generic anime look, and it's no wonder that so many fans say Paranoia Agent would make a great live-action thriller. Not that I agree, but I see where they're coming from. No matter how surreal his tales are, they always look grounded in a cartoon version of the real world. Kon also loves to use Susumu Hirasawa's explosive techno-opuses for all his work, and in a story about an entire world of people not firing on all cylinders, it can be exciting, creepy, wacky, but always on the mark, to say nothing of the show's thematic use of sound, which alludes to a different shade of fear and madness in every episode.
You know what I mean. I want to be free too. You know what I mean. I want to be... You know what I mean.
You know what I mean. I want to be F-R-E-E.
Of course, the actors are also all well cast and just the right blend of quirky and natural to play off the story and make all the crazies sympathetic. Equally amazing is how perfect the dub is, right on par with Cowboy Bebop and Wolf's Rain as one of the most outstanding anime dubs out there. There aren't really any standouts in the cast. Maybe Liam O'Brien as Detective Maniwa, or William Knight as the little old wise man.
Bird, little bird,
A frog crashed, bang, and
Grandpa,
this is the
no,
snapper.
you can't draw on this. So, Grandpa, what is it?
A little butterfly.
But every actor just fits their role. Every line is delivered well, and that little stuffed dog is always the right blend of adorable and creepy.
Let's stop this now. You don't have to suffer alone anymore.
Don't listen to him! Tsukiko?
Just on technical merits alone, Paranoia Agent is volumes above standard fare on every level. Past that, though, the series is also incredibly witty and insightful. Hands down, the first anime I would pass off to a psychology or sociology class to dig into. Sadly, something I hear far too often about the series is that it's creepy and weird, and a lot like Lane, and I dropped it because I could never understand it. It's nothing at all like Serial Experiments Lane, and it's actually very easy to understand, creepy and weird though it may be. Here's the secret. Keep in mind that everything you are seeing is stream of consciousness. That means you're seeing the world through the eyes of the character being focused on. And some of it may be real, some of it may be total delusion, and some of it may also be real, just painted a little differently. Even if a stuffed dog can't really carry on a conversation with a crazy person, if they think it is, that's going to affect their actions and change their world in some twisted way. If that still doesn't work for you, all the important twists are explained right out loud in the last episode, and the episodic dramas still ring true even if you don't understand the phenomenon at large. Just pay attention to the clues, but don't overthink anything, and it's pretty easy to tell why things happen the way they do. The point is that Paranoia Agent is a great human nature study, along with being zany and spooky. When people are backed into a corner by their problems, what do? Do they blame someone else? Do they escape to somewhere happier? Do they take drastic action and try to justify it somehow? Or do they sometimes just shut down? For as much as our fears hurt us, can they sometimes protect us? Or do both in the same moment? The way the series jumps in a chain from character to explain the ways we delude ourselves, and then ties all the characters together under symbols like Muromi and Little Slugger is brilliant. But it's also straightforward, hilarious, heartbreaking, oh, and above all, just plain weird. The characters may all be a little screwy, but it's easy to tell how quickly they got there, and sometimes how they can rise above their fears. It's not really a horror title, not at all, but it's famous for scaring people because it's not only bizarre and unsettling, it's true to life. In less fantastic ways, this monster really does attack people. I think most everyone's experienced it in some form.
You called?
That being said, Paranoia Agent isn't perfect. Kohn clearly threw in a few side stories in the middle he must have wanted to make an entire movie out of, but couldn't, and they take away from the focus a little right before a climax that breaks a few logic rules to make its point. These aren't plot holes, no, not that bad. They're just cheating a little bit, and it forces you to rethink what you thought you knew to get back on track. Overall, it feels a little like putting band-aids on a crazed cranium to pick at them, because Kohn's just going out of his way to make a symbolic idea as literal as possible for the audience, so it works. See, the world of Paranoia Agent isn't such a mind frag. By series end, you'd have to be crazy not to have seen the real Little Slugger coming, right before it's too late to escape. Paranoia Agent was available from Jenny On, which means, yeah, it's out of print. You can still find used copies, and a few new ones if you're lucky, and believe me, this show's worth every penny, but they're only going to get rarer and more expensive until someone rescues this series. Sadness.
Yeah, I broke my microphone. Oh, actually, I didn't break it. I blame Little Slugger. All in all, Paranoia Agent is that rare mind trip that's actually scary and how close to home it hits. It's a brilliant exploration of the world of fears and self-defenses we all put up to save ourselves and hurt ourselves day in and day out, but manages to make the ride fun and accessible, not to mention friggin' scary rather than hoity-toity. I can't hold too much against it for getting a little too random in the middle and cheating the laws of physics to make a point, but they are significant flaws that screw up viewer understanding, so I give this Fear Fest 3.5 baseball batterings.
It's Little Slugger! Yoshi, please, I need your help!
Sure.
Hey! That hurts! Why'd you do that? Hey, wait! You bastard!
Out of 4.